All right, it's time. Ceramic coating time, finally. I'm gonna go over what I'm using. And when you see I got my gloves on, do not ceramic coat your vehicle without gloves. This stuff gets in your hands and it dries and hardens. It's not fun. You know, I really don't know because I never had it happen, but I would assume it's not fun because I've seen this stuff crystallize. So put your gloves on, throw them away after. Depending on your coating, like the Adams coating has a lot of fumes, I find. I almost have to wear a mask or be in the ventilated area, but this one I don't. So I've got Gtechniq Crystal Serum Light. I hope you can see that. There we go. Kind of see it in the bottle. And then I've got XO, that's the topper. So I'll go over the topper once we get there. But what I'm gonna do is, I have this micro suede little foam block. It's the Adams ones that I like the best here. So it has a dropper in the bottle. You can just drop a little bit on there, apply it in sections, wait for it to flash, and then we're gonna wipe it off. I use these coating towels from Obsessed Garage. Man, I don't know why I use them for coating. I should use them everywhere because for whatever reason, they just feel so good. They're just like the best towels and they're cheap. I think they're $1 or less. And you throw your towels away after too. I also have a scan grip light, just as an inspection light for high spots. And that's really it. So the process here is I'm going to apply the first coat to the entire car. It has to cure for, I'm gonna let it cure for at least 12 hours. It probably doesn't have to go that long before you can apply the topper, but I'm gonna let it sit overnight. So it is 6 o'clock right now. So I'm gonna apply the first coat. While that is curing, tonight I do plan to get my wheels off of the car and have it on jack stands so I can start the process on cleaning those things up to ceramic coat them, which will be a totally different product, totally different video. So we'll look at that at that time. We'll go over that at that time. So I'm gonna get set up. I'm gonna show you a couple panels, how it flashes and what it looks like. Probably be able to see it best on the hood, so I'll probably start there, and then I'm just gonna work my way around the car, very simply. This stuff's a dream to apply compared to other coatings I've used. It levels out awesome, and it's so slick, it's great. So stick with me, I'm gonna get set up, let's get this thing rolling. This is the exciting part for me, stay tuned. All right, I'm all set up. I'm trying to get in a good spot on the hood right here where you can see. All right, so I got my CSL. What I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna unscrew it. You gotta be careful with this stuff. So to prime it, I'm going to put a couple of squirts. And then every time after that, I'm just gonna go with one. So I prime my applicator really well. I'm gonna sit this down. And hopefully you can see. I'm just gonna start applying it in a small section, roughly 2x2 section. And you want to cross hatch. That's kind of the standard go-to. So apply it in both directions. Kind of has like a WD-40 smell. All right, I'm not sure if you can be able to see that. So since I'm inside in the air condition and there's no humidity, you can definitely let it sit a little longer before it flashes. So this one, it doesn't flash in a rainbow effect. It's more like it sweats. And once it starts separating and sweating, that's when you level it and remove it. Let's see if I can get a better shot. There you go. See that? See how it's starting to separate? So I can come back and get this down. All right, so now I'm gonna come with my towel and I'm just gonna essentially level it, push it around. And that's it. That little section's done. So I always wipe a much bigger section. Then, you know, if I did this section here, this small section, I'm gonna wipe bigger to make sure I spread it around evenly. So let me zoom out. I'm gonna zoom out and get the rest of the hood so you can see. So just to make sure I get all the overlap, I'm definitely going in a little bit. I try to overlap a little from the spot I did before, just using body lines as a marker. This stuff's pretty good inside where I could do a bigger section and come back and wipe. Just take your time. If it's your first time, just do small sections, and if you get nervous, just wipe it off earlier than later. May not get the full effect if you wipe it off too early, but it's better than leaving it on too long. So I'm going to coat down to this corner. All right. So I don't have any coating right here where I leveled it already. It's already coated right there in this small section back here. So all of this, I have the coating on right now that I'm just waiting. Just kind of watching it. And I'm just gonna start moving it around. The first pass almost kind of smears it a little bit. This coating does wipe off very easily though. And I'm going to kind of go back over a much bigger area again, just so there's no high spots. All right, so that whole section now is coated. So if you're looking at body lines, this entire section here, very smooth to the touch versus more grabby in the other areas. I just love this stuff. All right, let me move this so I can get a good picture of the hood. That's a nice front end shot right there. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna coat. I'm just gonna take it in sections. That's what I always do. All right, so I'm gonna come coat this section, kind of using those body lines. Now the CSL does not go that far, I find. Like for example, I guess you're supposed to be able to use one 30 milliliter bottle to coat a vehicle of this size. And I'm at least gonna use a 50 milliliter probably. Maybe I just put too much coating, but I can't seem to get it to stretch that far. It's not a big deal. Now the XO topper after, that stuff goes forever. So I'm just making my second pass at crosshatch. I'll get down just so I can kind of see light angles and where I've passed. All right, we're gonna let that sit just for a second. So you're seeing it all in real time. So if I wait 30 seconds to a minute for it to flash, I'm not sure if you can tell in the camera right there too. On this body line here, there's clearly the coating all over and then none on this side. So this will give you an idea on time and how much time it takes, because you want to let it sweat first. These towels will take me 4 to 5 probably to go through on the entire car. I'm talking about them. Just such a great finish on this stuff. So I always flip over the towel just to finish, moving it around, wiping big, to avoid high spots. So I'm even gonna wipe other areas just to make sure. A color like this is hard to tell high spots, so it is pretty forgiving. It's also hard to tell where you started and stopped. A black car, you'd be able to tell really easily. Because even under a light, so I've got my scan grip inspection light, even under a light, sometimes it's hard to tell on a color like this. When I look at it, it looks like there's nothing on there, which is good, like it all wiped off. Still zooming in, probably can't see the flashing, but this whole center piece is starting to sweat. And then once you get that sweating look, that's what you want. That's when you can start wiping off. The Adams one, for example, the last M3, I used Adams graphene ceramic coating. And that one, you almost have to wipe it off immediately because there will be high spots everywhere. It's a lot tougher to use. I really don't like it. And I like a lot of Adams products. I have some Adams advanced graphene ceramic coating, which is their like top of the line newest one. I'll try it on something. I don't know what yet. I really just saw it on sale and ordered it just to have fun, just to test it out. Probably similar on the results, but just the application process on this is so much easier. So I'm going to get you a couple shots of this hood. Because the hood is completely coated. So hopefully you can see my lights reflecting in it. Just the overall gloss in it. It's coming out really good. There you go. Look at that. See a lot of reflections and tight reflections, when it comes to the lights. If you look at the lights there, lights there. If I would zoom in, I bet you could almost see the bulbs actually. Get you some good reflection and gloss there. All right, so we're looking good. All right, so I'm going to continue around the car. I know it's dark. It's always dark in these spots. I'm going to continue around the car. I'm going to do the roof next. And that's kind of the process I use on everything. Roof, trunk deck lid, spoiler. So I'll film everything kind of fast forward so you can see just the entire application of doing the car. And then we'll wrap up the video at the end, and I'll just kind of talk about the process and next steps. So stick with me. Let's knock this thing out. All right, that's it. That is, the coat of CSL is on. Took me exactly 2 hours. I timed it. It is 9:15. I started exactly at 7:15, and I just see a little dust there. And I even did the windows this time, which came out awesome. I did the windshield, did the back window, did everything, did every inch of this car. So I'm gonna go to bed tonight, and tomorrow I'm gonna do the 2 coats of XO. Man, I can't tell you how much I like this CSL. Just the way you apply it, and then you start to feel some slickness right away. But if you come back after, like a little while later, and just happen to rub the towel on it, just rub your finger on it, it's so slick. Man, it's awesome. I actually want to get a couple of shots for you, just if you can see. I mean, the gloss in this thing is just looking amazing. The challenge is going to be seeing the gloss. Trying to get a good angle of where you can see some mirroring there. And you see Hank sitting over there. Hank, what you doing, bud? He's chilling. What you doing over there, buddy? Huh? Chilling with your tongue out? His tongue's always stuck out. He's been hanging out with me. He's been a champ for a while. So just kind of walking around so you can see a little bit. It's a good shot with reflections on that back panel there on the door. You can see the reflection. This thing's just glossing so good. The camera really does not do it justice. You know, I always say that. I wish you could see it in person. But I hope you have some takeaways from this video, and I hope one of those takeaways is just how easy this is and you can do it. It's all about the prep. I'd have to calculate the hours that I'm in now. It's got to be close to 30 or a little over 30, I would say, right at it. So I'm excited to put those 2 coats of XO tomorrow. I might just hit the bed tonight. I was gonna jack the car up and take the wheels off, but I think I'll do that tomorrow, maybe between the coats of XO, because I need some cure time anyway. So I really appreciate you guys sticking with me and watching through all this. So I hope it's beneficial to you, and I hope you're enjoying it. So leave me some comments, subscribe if you like. This has been a fun series right here, and it's not over yet. I see just a little piece of stuff there. Sometimes there's a little stuff left over. Look, that's why you still got your towels handy. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys sticking with me. If you got any questions, leave them below. You know, I'm willing to help any way I can. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We're gonna finish this thing up in the next video.